Welcome to the Perfect Mom Show, episode 510. It's time to plan summer. I know. How are we here? We were just having this conversation this morning on our team call at APDM. We meet every Monday to talk about business stuff and just check in. Anyway, we were talking. I'm like, how is it May? How are we here? And I feel like I say that a lot. So maybe you're the same. That all of a sudden sometimes summer sneaks up on us. We've been sharing some episodes about the summer plan and how to handle the end of the school year. And my kids do not end school till June 12th. So I still have a little time, but I know for many of you, you're done. My oldest is a college freshman. He's coming home soon. Like, college kids are coming back home. Depending where you live in the country, it's summer now. So what I want to talk about today is some summer planning and prep, whether you've started it or not, and how crucial it is for you to wrap your mindset around the fact that you don't need that perfect plan yet or ever. You can really make a plan that works for your family no matter what summer looks like. And I'll tell you, my summer is a little bit different this year. Normally, we've transitioned a lot. My kids used to go to summer when they were younger. Like, this is like pre kindergarten. They would go to camp every day, 9 to 3, and I would work and I would have all this work time. And then we've transitioned because I realized I was like, I really want some more time with them. I want to hang out with them more. I would like that, that time. So they started to do like half weeks. They would, I think we have 10 weeks of summer. So they would do like 5 weeks of camp, 5 weeks home. We would take a vacation week, one of those weeks, things like that. Well, now we're at a place where financially, like, we really just can't swing that many weeks of summer camps because camps are expensive. So they're still getting to go and have some experience, but this will be the first year they're only going to camp for 3. One of them is like a half day VBS. It's free. It's nice. We love that. But it's only 9 to 12. Then one week, my daughter will be away actually the whole week at overnight Girl Scout camp, which is her favorite week of the summer. And my son will go to a basketball camp that week. So they'll both be at camp and then they'll both go to nature camp. And then that's it. Now, we also do have a small vacation planned, like a weekend trip away for my husband's family reunion, and then probably some day trips, but that's it. So this is our first summer that's really, really open. I'm excited. I'm a little overwhelmed. And I feel like I needed this message today, so I figured we'd talk it out. I'm going to put all the show notes over at purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 510, and you can see all the resources and things that we talk about. But maybe you're similar to me and you're in this like panic, or you're thinking, I got to make my chart, right? If you've ever been like, I need a color coded schedule, and then by week 2, you're like, I'm done, right? Like, you're going to want to tune in because we have a lot of pressure when it comes to summer. And there's also the reality. So the reality is I still have to work. And I said this to my son yesterday. He is, oh, it's my baby. That's my smush. Like, he would crawl inside me. Like, we spend so much time together, but he also, we have to speak with him a lot about, how do we say it? We're like respecting people's time because I will spend a lot of time playing. Like, let's play a game, right? So we play a board game together. He likes chess. We'll play chess together. And then I have to get back to work. You never play with me, right? Like, so we go through this a lot where I'm like, you have to respect people's time. Like, I gave you my time for this. I do have to work. And I said the same thing yesterday. He was like, we don't want to play a game together. I'm like, Isaiah, I need to make money. I need to work. Like, you have to respect that. So it's getting to this place where my kid is home. Now, I said this morning on our team call, like, I'm very grateful. I have so much flexibility and I'm noticing it now. I work 2 nights a week right now out of the month, like 2 out of the whole month. So it's not a ton at all, but it is a shift in my schedule. And because of that, having to be somewhere else 2 nights a week, I'm noticing the pulls on my schedule. I'm like, oh man, it's like really hard to do that and then go make it to the baseball field, right? So I have the challenge of, yes, I have tons of flexibility of when I work, but also there's that double-edged sword of being my own boss. Because if my kids are home, like, heck, I want to hang out with my kids, right? Like, yes, I have calls that anchor into my day, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but I also want to hang out with them. The reality is also they're home. I don't want them on their tap all summer and all the time. I need to get calls done, right? I have one call a day, pretty much, except for Thursdays. I take Thursdays completely off, so I have to move my schedule around a smidge about, when the summer starts with that. But I have to work. So I'm going to have a work block. I work light. I work probably one block, either 9 to 12 or 12 to 3 every single day. And then I have my I have 2 other part-time jobs that I do. So I have to work. I have computer work, things like that. And they're home. So like that is the reality. Now, I am very, again, privileged to say, like, my husband, he is normally a work from home employee, but in the summer he runs a summer program. So he's gone. But thankfully, due to the nature of his program and his role in his program, if the kids have to go to work with him for the day, they can do it. Now, I don't love that because I know that that's gonna mean, like, them on their tablets most of the day. Like, I can probably, like, come up with some stuff for them to do, but, it's really not what I like, they're not gonna get to play outside, like, they're not gonna get to have those things. So, while I do have some days, I told my husband, like, "Once a week, you're taking them to work with you because I need 1 full day of nobody home." There's the reality. But then there's the, fairy tale. Okay. We want to have these Pinterest perfect summers. I see all these other moms doing all these great things. There's all these fun trips and day trips and memory making and the pressure. And then it kind of feels like, oh my gosh, we have to do all of it because the kids are here and they're home, which is stressful. And so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about like what matters to create a summer that feels good and makes sense for you and your kids. Now, my kids are 8 and 10, and my oldest is 19. He's going to be working all summer actually at the program with my husband. So, depending on the age of your kids, take this all and adjust and audit it based on what you need. Okay. So, the thing is, when we overplan, and I've been guilty of this too, I'm like, I need a summer plan. And I started my summer plan with like the weeks of what I was going to do. And then I was like, all right, what are my work blocks? But when you overplan, you often lead yourself down this path of burnout and disappointment, right? Where you're like, oh, I had this beautiful chart. I spent all this time trying to get it ready. Now, we do a bucket list. We will do a summer bucket list. I always buy it off, I'd say, I can't remember the seller's name, but they make like a huge poster board size bucket list. It's got tons of stuff on it, and that always gives us ideas, and they're all, like, free, cheap things to do, but I've been so guilty of trying to overplan all of it. But then we hit that stormy period, right? We talk about the 5 dysfunctions of a team, right? That storming period where expectation doesn't meet reality. I'm like, "I'm gonna work 9 to 12 today, and then we're gonna go to the beach," and that's like, that's not gonna happen, right? So then we get stuck in the, all or nothing trap that we love so much, right? And then the plan of the day falls apart and we feel like we failed, okay? So we start feeling like my work list is getting bigger, I'm not being present with my kids, like, all the things happen. But the thing is, like, summer itself, depend if your kids go to traditional school, if you homeschool year round, like, obviously different, if you homeschool not, different, but inherently it's a more flexible time. I'm excited about it because, like, once baseball's done, which again, I've shared this, but, like, we're doing travel this year for the first time. Not, like, super intense, like, suburban league, like, we don't go very far, but he has to play on 2 teams, my 8-year-old. We had baseball last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was like, "What are we doing?" Right? So once that is done and cheer is in the off season, my daughter will still do clinics and private, she'll do all the but, like, it's light for what we do. I'll have flexibility. So what happens is we go from this school year tightness that we just been stuck on, and then we try to control the summer like the school year, and then it backfires. This ambitious, I must do all the 100 things on my bucket list is fun for a week, and then it becomes stress. So if this Pinterest perfect summer plan, like Pinterest perfect plan, love that. Pinterest perfect plan isn't the answer. What does work? I want to talk to you about like what you actually need, a framework that you can use to create a simple summer rhythm, not schedules. Because especially in the summer, you're going to want to be flexible. You're going to want to take the day to go to the park. You're going to want to take the day to slow down. There's so much I wanna do and I need. I have had a very full year. All good things, all of my creating, not bad. I'm not complaining that it's been busy. I'm just saying I'm very excited to slow down and read my book outside and worry less about bedtimes and more about sitting by the fire pit, right? Like, I'm so excited for that. But at the same time, if I go to the other extreme of like, "Oh, I'm not gonna schedule anything," it's nothing's gonna get done and I still need to work. So what do? We create the rhythm, okay? Not the schedule. I want you to think loose structure versus strict timelines, right? We're not saying 9 AM every day we're doing this. I'm thinking, what's the time block? Okay. So morning is like, what are we doing in the mornings? Resetting. I'm going to do my workout. I'm probably going to stick with my same morning routine. I'm actually probably going to stick with getting up. I get up at 6. I think I'll just keep that all summer. That works for me. I get to bed by 11. It really is enough time for me to sleep. I could probably sleep a little bit more. So I might be a little more lenient on my snooze, but that gives me the time in the morning to take care of myself. But for my kids, I want to have a couple anchor activities for them that they have to get done in the morning, but I'm not going to make it heavy. I'm not going to make it heavy. It's like get dressed, brush your teeth, have your breakfast, whatever they want to do to slow their morning down. Now, this is where you have to also decide when you're going to work if you're working from home. So like I said, On Mondays, my work will be 9 to 12. On Tuesdays, 9 to 12. Wednesdays, 12 to 3. Thursdays off, and then Fridays 12 to 3. So I already kind of know when I'm going to have my work block. So based on that, I'm going to then probably say like, okay, in the morning, we're resetting, getting dressed. My next rhythm that I'm doing is that in the middle of the day, we'll do some sort of activity or some sort of outing. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not over planning it. Maybe my kids, we like to hike. We like to get outside. So that'll work for us. And then, we'll have some quiet time before dinner, things like that. It's flexible, but it's a nice rhythm. I also want to encourage you to come up with your minimal viable summer. This is not the 100 item bucket list. This is what are 2 to 3 things you want to do, and sit with your family. Ask them, what are some things you want to do this summer? Now, I want to hike more. I know that's mine. I also want to kayak. Friends of ours have kayaks, and you can rent them up at one of the parks by us. And my kids love to kayak. We go to the lake. Like, so what are the things you want to do? I want to go on a tent camp trip. We're getting a puppy. By the time this airs, we'll have the puppy. So check out my Instagram where I'll post all this stuff. So I don't know what our summer's going to look like with a puppy, right? So thinking like, what are 2 to 3 things that we really want to do? Is it that we want to make sure we go in the pool more? Now we have a pool. We are so fortunate. So my kids can swim, thankfully. We're like at the age where everybody swims well. So, and they want to go in the pool. So I'm very excited to have a pool summer where we're outside. Is it that you want to have, like I mentioned, fire pit nights? Like I want to sit outside at the fire pit. Every time I'm somewhere and I'm at a fire pit, I'm like, "Oh, why don't we do this more at home? We have a fire pit, right? Maybe it's minimal viable, one outing a week. Maybe not every day we're doing something, but one time a week we're gonna do something that's like a little bit more outing or a family movie night or a game night. Okay. Everything else, make it a bonus. Everything else is a bonus. Let everyone in your family pick one thing that's on their summer bucket list. And if you get the other stuff done, take the pressure off. I also want to recommend that you create a list of anchor activities, and these are like the go-to things that are easy and repeatable. This is the most helpful for me when I'm like, what should we do today? Especially once you get past week 2 of summer. My kids will have off of school, 2 weeks no camp, and then they have their first week of camp. So once we get to that end of that second week, I know it's going to be squirrely, right? So what are those things that we can pull kind of from our toolbox? For us, it's like hike, go to the park, the library. My kid love the library. Like they could spend forever at the library. Water, playing outside, doing some crafts. Like one of my goals for April was to organize my office and get it decluttered because I had so much craft stuff so that I know what we have for the summer. Things like going for my kids can all ride without their training wheels. So I told myself I'm going to pull my bike out and we're going to go on bike rides this summer. Things like sidewalk chalk, my kids love to do. Like have a list of those. So when they're like, I'm bored, like what is it? The other thing that I just want to remind you is to do just kind of a realistic capacity check for what you're doing. You may still be working. Again, hello, I have three part-time jobs, right? Like that I do. I'm running my home. I'm being a human being. I want to read my books too. I'd like to sit by the pool as well. So don't forget when you're planning your summer to ask yourself, hey, these are great things on our bucket list. These are great things on our repeatable list, but like, what do I have the energy for? And where do I need a little more white space? I also want to encourage you to come up with a boredom plan for your kids. So this is one of the things that has helped us a lot, in particular with the tech in the summer. So my kids get during the school year an hour on their tablets. That's it. We have it set to an hour. They can earn extra time. We had a chart. We don't have it anymore because they know it. But in order to earn extra time, there's a couple questions. It says, "Is your room clean?" Right? Because don't come at me with that if your room ain't clean. Is your room clean? Have you played outside for 30 minutes? Have you read a book for? I think it's at 30 minutes, but like my kids will just read some. Have you read? Have you done something off tech? Like once you've done those things, then you can ask me and I'll gift you another half an hour. Right? I need to decide what that looks like for the summer for them, but when I make my summer schedule, I'll put in like activity list and I make an activity list of things they can do because my job is not to entertain my kids 24/7. And one of the things I have to remind myself is when I take their tech away, which again, I'm very excited for a tech reset this summer. When I take their tech away more, there's more mess in my house. It's louder, like that's fine. So I have to remind myself that too. Let them be bored. When my kids are bored, they're so creative and I don't often let them do it. So come up with your tech hours versus non-tech hours. But what's helpful though is to create a little list, like a menu for them of things that they can do if they're not sure, if they're saying like, I'm bored. Here's a list of things you can do, right? You can go ride your scooter, you can do sidewalk chalk, you can do a craft, etc. And then start to also teach them some independence instead of overscheduling. I find the summer to be a great time to teach some skills to my kids. We do a lot of like cooking in the summer because we can slow down for like lunch, for example. They're not eating at school. Let's try a recipe. You cook, right? Like teach them some skills instead of trying to get 100 things going and let it be the time for it. I'm going to give you some actionable steps now. All right. And this is like exactly how you're going to take an hour to get your summer set up so that it works for you. Okay. Step one, again, choose your 2 to 3 summer priorities. Talk to your fam. What is it? And then I want you to pick 3 to 5 anchor activities for your day. What are 3 to 5 things that you're like, these are the things we're going to get done? Then make your rhythm, make your loose daily rhythm that might be a little flexible based on the day and a simple board list, okay? And then I want you to also choose one non-negotiable for you. Work block, rest, workout, self-care, okay? If you take those 5 things, you get them done in an hour, you can have the summer ready to go feeling good. Remember that like your kids don't need this beautiful magical summer that one costs a gajillion dollars and two has you running on fumes. What they really want is a present mom. Like it's real, right? Your kids want to hang out with you. Do your best to let go of the comparison. And this happens to me too. I see other people doing things on social media and I'm like, oh, we should do that. I can't believe I haven't taken my kid. Like the pressure to create the constant memories, let it go. All right. Have small moments of fun, games, things like that, instead of these big, perfect plans. Try not to overplan it. And also, I just want you to create boundaries for yourself before summer starts when it comes to things like work hours and communicate them with your children. My kids know, I've shared this before. I have an office with a door. My kids know open versus closed door. If my door is open and I'm working, which is like if I was completing a computer, typing or emails, etc., more than welcome to come in. If my door is closed, like right now, I'm recording podcasts. My kids aren't even home. My husband is, but my kids aren't even home. But I get into the same system. I close the door. Do not come in. Right? Create the boundaries. The thing I'm going to tell my kids is, okay, on Tuesdays, mommy has a meeting at 10 a.m. So from 9 to 12, mommy's going to be in the office. I've got to get work done during this time. This is what I'm doing. This is what you're doing. And I tell them what they can do during that time. It might be a good time for them to have tech to do all those things. And then when I'm done, we're going to turn the tech off and go do something together. I'll open my door from 9 to 10, close it from 10 to 11 for my call, open it again from 11 to 12, unless I want some more privacy, right? Set those boundaries for yourself. I want you to ask yourself what a good enough summer would look like. Okay. Tell me what it is. You can find me on Instagram at a purpose driven mom. Let me know your minimal viable summer and allow it to be fun. All right. You have the time here. It's a little more hectic with everybody home. So make a plan that works for you, not the one that you see everybody else doing on the internet. Okay. It's really, really hard to not get caught in the trap of we must have the most fun in the best summer because you only have 18 summers with your kid and all of that like shame-based messaging people give. Like it's important to root you in that. But also remember you have this summer with them. And what do you want it to look like? And your job is not to be their concierge. We're not on a cruise, right? It is to help them get independent, teach them some things they can do on their own. You can get some things done too. And you can have these memories. You don't have to go out every day. This is like, I don't know about you guys, but like my kids will be like, want to eat out every day, like things like that. And I said to my daughter today, she's been picky about what her food is, AKA, I'm bored of this food. Like she wants different options. So I said, I love this. You guys come up with a meal plan. I said, what do you want to eat? And one of the skills I'm going to teach them is how to meal plan this summer because they don't know how to do that. Like, what's a meal plan? They don't understand. So I think I'm actually going to let them each pick out one dinner meal a week, make their shopping list, give them the money, take them to the store and have them buy the stuff to really teach that skill. But allow them to be a part of it, right? Don't put all of it on your plate, depending on your kid's age. They can help you too. And it can be a great summer. You can really enjoy it. So get your summer planned. Show notes are at purposedrivenmom.com/podcast510. And I'll see you next week.